Hey guys, Will and Customs here, and today we are going to take a look on how to fix some really squeaky, tight joints. It's a really unique thing to have in your figure. Some have it, some don't, but it's annoying sometimes. So, in particular, I'm going to show you this. Oh yeah. Now, that's just annoying, so we're going to try to take a look at that and fix it. Full disclaimer though, if you guys are new to my channel or you're new to fixing figures or customizing in general, I actually have another video up. I'll put a link below on how to fix like tight joints, bent joints and stuff like that. Watch that first because that's a little bit more safer in your approach, and overall just a good video to watch just to see how to like take apart figures, or just in general. It might get your mind kind of rolling on how to do things. So I would kind of recommend you to watch that. But if you still want to watch what I'm doing right here, then let's go. Alright, so obviously you saw that squeakiness and heard it yourself. It's a little tight, but not like insanely tight, but that squeakiness is just so annoying. I think it's just like rubber. It's plastic rubbing against each other and stuff like that. Who knows what the problem is. It could be the socket's too small, or the peg's too big. Who knows what's going on in there. I actually have two Iron Man figures, and this one's pretty prominent to sound. This one is not that bad. It's a lot smoother though when you rotate it on this one, on at least one arm. But let's take a look inside there, because this is a very interesting approach on how to fix this, because it involves using WD-40. Now I know a lot of people want to be against it. WD-40 might sometimes take away paint, who knows, depending on how badly you rub it in or something like that. So you have to be really careful with it, but overall it does work. This is the total opposite of trying to tighten up a joint. Some people might use super glue, some people might use Future Pledge because you're just getting another substance in between those cracks to tighten it up. We're trying to loosen it up this time. And unlike toy manufacturers, we don't have access to those special oils they use or something like that. You have to be creative what you have at home sometimes, or what you can get your hands on sometimes. So we're going to use WD-40, but we're going to use it very carefully. So we're going to tackle this really carefully because we don't really know what the chemical reaction WD-40 can have on paint. From my experience, I did this a handful of times so far. Nothing happens. That's what I experienced, at least. I'm not actively trying to rub out paint too, so maybe that's the reason why. But from my experience alone, I can say that your paint should be fine. So let's take a look inside here right now. Take a look at the joint more carefully. So like I said before, it's that little disc or peg that's inside the body that is rotating that causes that squeakiness. This disc in the shoulder is actually attached to that part, so you know what you're working with right there. And you can see inside here there's some paint rub already from just the factory itself. Paint rub is inevitable. It's going to happen. You could prep all you want, do whatever you want, but you have a bad scratch on the corner, it's going to happen. Just like a car. So, yeah. Alright, so like I said before, this one had it on this shoulder. Actually, I had it on both shoulders, but I did it, the WD-40 on this one. And you have nothing. You have some ratchet clicks, but that's fine. And you got that. Not only does the WD-40 make the squeakiness go away, it makes it a little bit more smoother, so that's always nice. And before we start, I just want to point out, if you're too young to be using this, please have an older sibling, a guardian, father, mother, anybody, aunt, uncle. Have them assist you in trying to use this for the first time, because this is not something you should be throwing around. It is dangerous when not used properly. Also, there are some fumes as well, so not that bad, but seriously, be careful when using this. And you could ask your parents. Your parents are pretty knowledgeable. They might even be like, I would have recommended that myself. So let's go. Alright, now let's finally get to it. First off, you need WD-40 and need some paper towels just in case to wipe off some excess spray. So we're going to do this shoulder right here first, and we're going to tilt them to the side because you can see the little red base inside the shoulder right there. We're going to get to there, but we can't obviously get to it. So we are going to use gravity on our side right there, and what we are going to do is spray just a little bit at the base right here and let it fall down. And after that, we're going to let it sit a little bit, rotate it around so it can get all over the place. Same process if you were going to try to tighten up a joint using super glue or Future Finish. but we're trying to use this to loosen it up. So a little bit of time, and have your paper towel handy just in case you need to wipe off some excess spray. So there you go. Let it go. Let's wipe it off a little bit. That might have been too much, but it should be fine. And look at that. Oh, buttery smooth. Like I said, I put too much in that one, but it should be fine overall. I don't know my own strength. Okay, so let that sit a little bit. It's good, right there. And like I said before, we don't know the chemical reaction to paint sometimes, but you should be fine overall. And plus, a lot of these figures, all these points right here, these joints, they're all actually molded to the color itself, not really painted on. Like this is actually red, this is red. The inside over here is actually silver or gray, but you can see already that the WD-40 is having no effect on it anyway. Just loosen it up. Hear no more squeakiness. Pretty good. Okay, now we're going to tackle this side. And you can see that even this shoulder right here is a little bit, it's not tight, but it's not the smoothest. And you can hit a ratchet. So in doing that, you can spray a little bit. It might even get into the disc as well. And it might fix two birds with one stone. So here we go for this one. There you go. Let it sit in there. Rotate it around because it's going to need to move around as well. So right now, no more squeakiness, right? Let's try the disc. Don't hear anything as well. A little bit more smoother. You can clean it up a little bit if you want to. Should be fine though. Move it around still. Get it in there. You might want to let it sit for maybe like a half an hour or so, just so it sits fine, but you don't have to. Just whatever you feel comfortable with. Just try to wipe it down, the outsides a little bit, if it got out. But overall, you should be okay. If you want to wet your napkin as well, it might help a little bit better. So I just wiped one corner right here and the other part's dry, so you can just, clean the outside a little bit if it got sprayed on or excess on, and dry it up on the other side. This was nice. So there you go. That is nice and smooth. And you can even see it in the corner right here. Like, it's a little bit shiny because that's where the WD-40 went. But it's actually in the cracks already. So you can still even take the wet end of your napkin and clean it up a little bit if you want to. Because it's already inside the joint, so we don't have to worry about the outside anymore. You might hear you do hear the ratchet. That's fine, that's normal. But it's a lot smoother overall, so that's pretty nice. Alright, now we're going to tackle the other one. So this one, I did it last night. It's perfectly fine. You hear nothing wrong with it. This one is probably the tightest one of all four shoulders. So we'll see how well it works. Zoom back in. My bad if sometimes I am out of focus. It's just hard to do this and videotape at the same time. Whew, that was way too much. Ho 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 ho. But it's okay. See, problems are going to happen, but you work with it and try to fix it. A little bit too much, but it's not going to be a bad thing overall. Clean it up a little bit. Now we can rotate it. Squeakiness is gone. It's all good now. But definitely want to clean this one up too. Alright, so as a bonus, I actually want to fix the little hinge joint right there because I know a lot of people have been having problems with theirs. I know some people actually broke theirs already, so let's just try this, see how it goes. It's this disc that is probably the most tight So we want to get some WD-40 in there. Yes, you go. That's good. That's a nice controlled one. So you can wipe out the outside because it pretty much already seeped in to there. Now you gotta let it get in all the way. Still kind of tight, surprisingly, but it's starting to loosen up now. I feel more confident now in moving this. There you go. Now it's going. And like I said, you could probably wipe down right away because it's all in the cracks already, so you shouldn't have a problem wiping it down. And after you're done doing everything, make sure you guys wash your hands. Alright, after everything's said and done, you can let it sit there for like a half an hour, a night. Do whatever you want, whatever you feel more comfortable doing. But remember, always clean it off a little bit. You don't want any excess WD-40 around. But overall, right after you do it, you should be fine. Like, I'm still doing this video and everything's fine to touch. But yeah, like I said before, it really depends on what you're working with, on how to do this. If you're doing a custom, you might want to test it out first. Test out a dummy custom first. Either you want to spray it first, let it settle, clean it, and then paint on it, see how it works out. Or if you want to do a dummy custom, customize something, let it dry, let it curl, let it settle, the paint work. Then if you want to maybe even coat it, go ahead. But after a good, maybe like a week or two, then try this to see how it reacts. Test stuff out, see how it goes. But other than that, this is a very fast, efficient way to fix squeaky joints, and it does work. Obviously it works. Just you have to be careful with it, clean it up nicely, and you shouldn't have a problem with it. And that's about it, guys. I hope this video was helpful and fun for you guys to look at. Have you been doing this yourself? Do you guys have any other techniques or options to do? What do you guys think? Do you think I'm crazy? I don't know. Leave some comments below, interact, and let me know what you think. But other than that, that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Like always, comment, criticize, subscribe, do whatever you want to pay attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Go to wildandcustoms.com. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Peace!